Eva, thank you. Thank you so very much. That was just so much fun, and you just took the room to a whole new level. So thank you very much. Let's thank Eva again. So I'm Sarina Baptista again. Hope you know that by now. And we're going to do a couple of things today. One of the things that I do teach now. I teach people how to connect with their angels, guides, and loved ones through mediumship, through psychicness, through connecting just with, like I did with my son. He was my impetus, of course. I mean, what mom who loses a child doesn't want to connect and find out their child's okay? So, JT has been instrumental, and of course he's laughing at me right here. He's always with me. So if I start laughing, and I'll tell you the joke, okay? Because he loves to tell jokes, and he loves to do dances. This is my book that I wrote. It's A Bridge to Healing, JT's story, a mother's grief journey and return to hope. The hope part is what I want to bring home today, because we all go through stuff. We all lose loved ones. We all, it's part of who we are, and it's part of us being here, but we can all connect with them. We all have the ability. I'm not special, just like, well, who was it that said they were special, right? Yeah. I'm not special, they're not special. We all have this gift, and there's two parts to this book. Of course, the first is the grief journey, because it was important for me to tell the story of how hard this boy worked to get me the messages and to get me onto the path that I'm on. The second part is what I call the bridge, and it is exercises and information and all of that can help you all to connect as well. So it's that part. I am not responsible for that part. Blame them, because they're the ones that gave me the information. So, but I'm going to go over what I'm going to do today. I'm going to connect with loved ones here who have passed, but I want also for each of you to be part of this experience. So we all receive information all the time. Like I think it was Michelle that was saying she heard the voice. Clairaudience is one of my most powerful clairs. Now the clairs are how we receive the information. We see it, which is clairvoyance, hear it, clairaudience, feel it, clairsentience, and then claircognizance is just knowing. It's like my husband is claircognizant, and so he'll just say, well, blah, blah, blah. And he has no idea where that information came from, but yet he knows that it's true, and that's, I think, who thinks that there might be, they're claircognizant? Yeah, it's just a knowing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over some of the signs, so to speak, that will tell you what your dominant clair is, because as I'm receiving this information from your loved ones, I want you also to receive it. So the first one is seeing. On page 20 I have basically just some questions that you answer. And so for seeing, if you think that seeing is your dominant clair, then when you first encounter someone new, do you notice first how they look? Can you see pictures in your mind when you close your eyes? When someone is telling you a story, do you see it in your mind? Do you see colors around people? Or do you see colors when you close your eyes? Those all are indications that clairvoyance is a clairaudience, which is hearing. Do you hear voices in your head you knew were not yours? Now here's a little tricky piece. It's the voices in my head. It's like, who is that? Sometimes people hear their own voice in their head, and that can be really disconcerting because we might think that it's our ego talking or mind talking. The voice that I hear has a different cadence. I can tell whether it's a child, whether it's a mother or grandmother, just by the tone of their voice, or male or female. But a lot of people, it just sounds like their own thought. So you think about that and you think, okay, well then how do I discern one from the other? The people who are your loved ones, angels and guides, when they talk to you, it's going to be in a different cadence. It's not going to be the same cadence as you would say something. And they might even say something that you would never even think of. That's how I knew that it was somebody else. Because I'd ask a question, thinking I knew the answer, and then a different answer would come in. So I knew at that point that it wasn't me who was talking, it was somebody else who was talking. When you ask a question, you hear the answer in your head. That's another clear audience. And do your ears ring? Now, this is not ringing all the time, but this is like a ring every now and then, or pressure. You know, when my guys need to reach me, it is like, ah, it's like a bullhorn in my head, because we're trying to say, Sarina, pay attention. So if you get that kind of tone, then it could very well be your guides that are trying to reach you. If you're a feeler, and I know there's lots of feelers in here, we're healers, and so we're feelers, right? So when you enter a room, do you feel the vibes in the room before you see anyone? When you talk to someone who feels down, do you start feeling down, and they'll start feeling better? You just took it on yourself. Do you feel tightness in your body when someone else has an ailment in their body? We were talking about that, you know, getting headaches or getting, and when spirits come to me, I will feel in my body where they have had issues. Do others dictate your mood by the way that they feel? So again, you walk into a room and somebody else is angry, like Jackie was saying, somebody else was angry in front of her. Does that dictate how you feel by that other person? Then that could be that you're clairsentient. And then knowing is, have you ever just known something without ever learning it or hearing it? Have you ever had someone ask you a question and without even thinking about it, you knew the answer and you knew it was the true answer? But your answers or solutions just drop in the head as if they've been there all along. For many years, I thought all the brilliant ideas were mine. Now I realized they were giving them to me. They were giving me the thoughts. And you know, I'm kind of let down by that because I thought I was so brilliant. But the point is that we all have these receptors. We all receive in a certain way. So as I'm going through this, and as I am, I'm sorry, I already know who's going to be first. And for those of you who are seers, you might start seeing people lining behind me, energies. You know, they're all ready to go. I can already feel in my body where we're going. You know, and so tune in and see, because this is for you. Again, I am not special. I just learned how to do this. I was taught how to do this, and it just happened that I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm supposed to teach it. So the first one, we're going straight to you. You knew that already.
I think so, yeah.
And this is stepdad, or is this grandfather? Is this, which one? It's the one that we talked to.
Stepfather.
Stepfather. Because he's a big presence. I don't know if can you like picture him behind me, this big, huge presence behind me. He's very, very strong, and very, you know, he likes to be in charge. He likes to be first, and the way that I'm receiving all of this is he's giving me those impressions. He's giving me those impressions on my body. The other thing is I'm feeling right here from him, and we're going to talk about that as well, because sometimes what they give us are the feelings that they experienced when they left, or feelings that they experienced through their life. This is through his life, is what it feels like right here. It's not how he left. I'm not feeling that it's how he left, but he's saying, this is how I felt most of my life. And it just feels anxious. You know, it feels like there's you know, like the butterflies and all of that. So what ailment did he have when he left?
Well, I know he had a severe stroke, and so he was well into his 80s, 90, and I think
very out of control, though. He feels like very out of control, and this is the way he tried to control things, is what it feels like.
He was a man for his whole life, was very much in charge, very much in control. And when he had the stroke, I think it was a devastating lesson for him, because I think he was still aware.
Yeah.
But he couldn't.
Oh, absolutely. He couldn't do anything. And he wants to say, though, that he really wasn't in control. That he tried to control, but he really wasn't. And so that's why his stomach was in this constant.
I think he also couldn't control control my mother.
That would make him irritated.
That would very That's the only woman in his life.
Yeah. So he's saying that, as much as he tried so hard to control, that his world really was not in control. I mean, I see chaos around him, and he's creating this chaos, but he doesn't realize he's creating. So he's going on, he's trying to control all this chaos when he is doing it. And so this right here is a lot of anxiety. It's like, I've got to control this, I've got to do this. And then it just went up to here. And so this feels more like breathing and, I'm having a hard time breathing. And so is anybody else feeling anything in their body? Are you feeling it? Because you're feelers? Yeah, because I'm asking him also, not only to give it to me, well, not to give it to you guys, give it to me, but also so you can experience this. Because for feelers, this is huge. Because if you walk through a room and all of a sudden you're feeling, oh, wow, what the heck is that? Then you can think, okay, well, who is that, first of all? When I get those impressions, first of all, I have to ask, is it somebody dead or is there somebody alive? Is there somebody who's trying to get a message to me? Or is it somebody who's like right next to me? And I'll just ask. And they'll say, no, it's the dead person behind you. Okay, well, thanks so much. But for him, he is, what he wants to say, okay, I'm gonna, this is a message for you.
For me?
For you, right. And he's saying that, he doesn't want you to feel like you have to control things so much. Now, I know that you are working on that and all of that, but he says there's a particular area right now that you are really trying to control, and he says you just got to let it go, okay? So that was his big push to come in to let you know that, to give you that message, because it's really important that he says, I was going to say also, he says this is a huge thing for you, whatever this is that you're contemplating, or whatever it is that you're having a hard time that you want to control. He says it's not that big. Okay, you think that it's big because it looks big in front of you, but it's really not that big. And he says he's going to help you with it, and he's over here like for you. Okay, so let's see, where would that be?
Okay.
So, and you need to call for help. You have not been calling for help.
True.
So he says you need to call for help and to make sure that you get that done. Okay. Okay. He's really happy that he was able to get through to you. Now, the way that I'm receiving this, of course, I'm feeling it in my body. I'm hearing it. I'm feeling it. He's giving me the sense of who he was here and who he is now, because we transform all the time. So he's giving me that sense of who he is now, too.
So he's learning a few things.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's learning. And he came through with this because he wanted you to know that you can't do that.
Well, but that was a huge lesson for him, I think, and he's seeing it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, lots of progress made. So we'll thank your step.
We're alike in a few ways.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you.
Okay, so then what I have to do after I do something like that, and this again, you might not want to stand up in front of people and do this kind of thing, but I believe that we all are, we can all channel information, and we all want to lead a guided life. We all want to go toward where we're supposed to be. And how do we do that? By listening, by feeling. It's all from around us. It's all around us. So tapping into that, and there's a ton of ways in my book to do that, and it gives you some different scenarios and all of that. So we're going to go move on because they're going, shut up. They do that. They shut up. I want to get my message. So we'll ask the next energy to come forward. And this one's a little bit shy, so I'm going to. And also the other thing that I sometimes have to do is I sometimes have to sit down, because this energy's journey at the end was, she feels very weak. It's a female, and it feels like she had, a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure there was hospitalization. I'm sure that there was you know, it feels like it was a long process. When they say that, sometimes what they're saying is, you know, for me it was a long process. Maybe not for them, but for me it was a long process. And then the other thing that I like to do is I like to look, you know, I have them kind of show me who their person is, you know, and the way that they do that is they just kind of light it. But I already know I'm going to the gentleman. Back up. Your name is?
Dave.
David. Hi, David. So this, so this energy, I'll say this first, and that is that she is darting back and forth, okay? And that either means that it is a new passing or that she had struggles with her passing. It could be that there were mental issues going on at the time or something along those lines, and she's kind of darting in and out. She's also not giving me a total sense of her age. So let me just ask her. Okay, and I'm asking her questions in my mind so that she can identify, because she's yet to identify. She identified you as her person here, but she hasn't identified who she is yet. And she's also showing herself as younger, but I'm not sure that she was younger when she left. Do you have any idea who this might be?
Can't say that I do.
Okay. Okay, so this, she's still saying, and she's saying close, so I'm asking, did he know you when you were here? Okay, so this one is somebody, this feels like grandmother or even great-grandmother.
I was thinking great. Yeah.
Oh, you were thinking great? The reason she's here is because you have the same gift as she does. So when she was here, she says that she had this gift. And you said that the sight, gift of sight. So did you know you have the gift of sight? Guess what?
Grandma says.
Great grandma says you have the gift of sight. What that means to me is that you can see things. Now what she's saying is, she's actually using the word prophecy. So seeing into the future, that she had the gift of seeing into the future. And she says that you have that gift as well. So do you have prophetic dreams and things like that?
Yeah, a little. when I was a kid, I think.
When you were a kid. Yeah, you know, I did that too, and then they got too scary. I had to shut them down. So she is here to say that you need to open that back up. She just said, you know, open the third eye back up. And I believe, you know, you're here for a reason too, because that's the direction. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what she's saying, you are a seer. Which means you see, of course, but it also is bigger than that. She says you're going to lead people to where they need to go. What do you do for a living right now?
Not much right now.
You need to see Janelle. She's saying that you are, she's not saying teacher, although she says leader. Okay, there's a difference between teacher and leader. You are to lead, and she wants to help you with that because she says, again, she's saying that she has that as well, and she gave it to you. And there's another young. Do you have a son, or there's another young boy in your family, maybe a cousin or something like that?
Nephew,
She's saying,
maybe.
What was that?
Maybe nephew.
Oh, it could be a nephew, basically.
Could be a cousin, yeah.
Because I'm seeing him about this tall, you know, that she's just showing. So another son, another man or boy in your family has this as well. And you need to teach him. So you are going to be a teacher in that regard. Now, when they come through and give something like this, he's going to go and go, what the heck am I supposed to do with that? She wants to guide you, and she will lead you to where you need to go with that. I'm asking her to give me something so that, you know, I feel she keeps showing herself as young. Do you know how old she was when she left?
Yeah, 90s.
She liked it, obviously, when she was a lot younger. They can come, I mean, she's just this vibrant spirit. They can come in any form, and so don't let that throw you off.
She was young when she left. At 90, she was young.
At 90, so she acted
had that
young.
spirit. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she still has that
Yeah,
youthful spirit. She does not act like she's 90 at all.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that can throw you off if you're trying to identify who the heck is coming to me. They can, you know, like JT, the first person at that medium who brought him through at the John Holland show, she thought that he was a teenager because he came through as a teenager. He came through as like a 15-year-old. That's just because he liked to be big, you know. But he was really 7 when he left. So they can come through as any age. She's coming through as this particular age because she never grew old, you know. But she is saying that it was a long process when she left, and it was not.
She was dying before I was born.
Yeah, it was just like on and on and on, and it just doesn't feel. And the way I'm feeling that is I'm just feeling tired.
Yeah.
She just was tired, and so again, if you're feelers and you're tuning into that, then you know if you start all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm just so tired. Whose is that? Whose stuff is that? Is that yours or is that somebody else? And again, I always have to ask, is that the person in front of me, or is that somebody who needs to get a message to the person in front of me? I've had a lot of times where I have been, you know, there's been a stranger around me, and their loved one comes, and I always ask, do I really have to do this? I said, okay, you better make it clear, because I'm not looking like a fool or anything. And they're always really clear, because if they're going to take the time to come to me in a weird setting, and I have to give that message, then it's in their best interest to be as clear as possible. And I've never had somebody say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. They always go, oh my God, that's my mom, or whatever. And I had one lady who she just got white because I had to tell her that her mom was right there. And her mom had just left 4 months prior, and it was just so close to her. And that changed her life, to know that her mom was there. It really changed her life. So sometimes you get put into difficult situations, uncomfortable. You're going to be put into uncomfortable situations with this, but I do feel that with her guidance and with your own intuitive guidance, you know, you have this strong intuition, and I really feel that that is going to carry you with this. But I do see, I mean, she used the metaphor of Moses walking them through, you know, the parting of the sea. She used that metaphor. I don't know if that's important or not.
It'd be my Jewish great-grandmother, yeah.
Jewish great-grandmother. I always crack up at that. You know,
She did the music with them right there.
I gotta get through. So you'll be leading people, but it's going to be, you're going to need to look ahead. You're going to need to use this, open this back up, and you're going to need to use it to lead these people, definitely. And I do feel that your circle is really going to expand because of it. So thank you for being open, and thanks to your thank you to your great grandmother. Okay. Take a drink here. And it's also funny when you're clairaudient, because you can hear them arguing over who's going to come next. Yeah. I'm going to go. No, actually, they're not really doing that. They're being very polite with each other, but they know that I only have a limited amount of time, and they really want to get this done. Okay. Well, I got somebody. Yeah. Usually when I get that hit of energy, it's like, wow. I have my body tuned in. Oh, the other thing I really want to stress here, and they're going to get mad at me because I'm yakking again, but I really want to stress that you are in control of this. There's shows out there where people are open all the time, and you don't have to do that. I do what like Lisa Williams says, and that's put my hat on, and when my hat is on, don't come to me because I'm not working. But the trick to that is you always have to open yourself up to work, because they still want to get the message. And if you don't set like hours to work or whatever, then they will keep coming and bugging you. So boundaries. And I think Michelle's going to talk about a little bit of that later, right? That part of your talk, yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm asking this energy to come forward again because I really wanted to say something. Okay, so I am feeling a lot in my face right now. It's kind of, it's pressure right here. Okay, and I'm going to ask this energy to step forward and be stronger so that we can have clear communication. This is definitely, okay. Okay. And I'm just asking because I like to make it easy, and I don't like to do the 20 questions to all of you, so I like to make it easy to find out who this is. And the impressions that I get are, you know, a lot of, like I said, a lot of pressure right here. It's different though when I feel somebody who's had a stroke. It's like one side of my body kind of goes limp. This is not that. This is like pressure in my head and almost like an impact. Okay, I know, Val. I know that this is Ryan. Okay, and I'm going to sit down because there is, the first thing, and he's talking really, really fast. That's the other thing. When they want to get the message. They're very intent on that. Val, do you have a daughter? Okay, because it's coming through about something very important for her right now. Not that you're not, he's going to have a message for you, but he's really strongly feeling something for your daughter. What is your daughter's first name?
I have 2 daughters.
Okay, what are both of their names?
Oh, Christy and Jolene.
Okay, it's Jolene. Jolene. I just feel her really heavy. I feel her really down. And it's more than just the stuff that's going on. I mean, I really feel her not being able to make decisions, not being able to really, because all of a sudden I got really confused and almost depressed. Okay. The reason why he wants to come through is that he wants her to know that she doesn't have to be afraid, is what he's saying. I'm feeling that she is feeling, how old is she? How old is Jolene?
31.
Okay. There's something about her thinking that she is going to have something go wrong with her. She's thinking that there's something wrong with her. And what he's saying is that she needs to stop that she's creating it within herself. And that's not healthy, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so what can we do about that then? Talk to her and let her know that it's not what she thinks it is. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know. There's a piece that we're missing, so let me ask him what that piece is. She'll know, he says. But he's been trying to get through to her, and she's not listening. So he really needs to get through to her that he is still there for her. But she keeps coming back to this worry. All of a sudden I'm feeling really worried and depressed. And I feel that she's thinking that it's going to go into something else, or that there's another problem. But what he is saying is that she's creating it, so she just needs to stop that. Okay? Are you doing a garden for him or something along those lines? Because he's showing a garden. And he says it's not there yet.
It's not there yet.
But that's what you were planning?
Trees, for sure. Maybe
Okay.
flowers.
Well, I'm sorry. He was saying that, he likes the trees, you don't need the flowers. The flowers would be for you, not for him. But he's saying that this is a place where you're going to find solace. So wherever you're creating it, that is going to be kind of your little meditation area, is what he's saying. So do you have a place already that you're planning for it?
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Not sure it was fun.
Okay. As you go through the process, make sure that you know that you're going to be spending a lot of time there. It's not really, I mean, of course it's for him and it's in memory of him, but it really is where you're going to find connection. So make sure that it's comfortable. Make sure it's somewhere where you want to go.
I'm thinking my backyard.
Yeah, but what I see is like a seat there or something along those lines, like a curved seat, and comfortable, and it's a memory garden for sure. He says that. Okay. He says also that you need to put like 3 trees there. He says, I'm only giving you suggestions, right? He's trying to help you with it, right? But the point is that you're going to use that time, you're going to use that space for connecting with him, okay? So make sure that as you're going through it, you're putting that intent in, okay? Okay, cool. Let me ask him if there's anything else. I can't remember if we talked about this before, but he comes on the wind. There's like times where like a breeze brushes past you, and that's him, okay? So he wants you to know that. And he's with you always, Mom. He says, I'm with you always, Mom. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to help you through this. And you're already there, he says. You're already there. So picture yourself already there.
Yeah.
And then that will be, yeah, he says that's going to really help you to get there if you can picture yourself already there. Yeah. Coming from a mom, I know that you still have to process. You still have to process. That's one thing, being in bodies, we're here in bodies for a reason. We're here in bodies to experience life and to experience everything that has to do with life. So we do have to still be in physical and still experience, grieving and still process and all of that. Again, I know a lot of people who kind of, they spend more time out of their body than in their body. And that's okay, except, we're here to have the physical experience. So grounding is really, really important. And that's one thing that I know we're going to talk about later as well. Keeping in your body, keeping grounded, because especially we don't like to be in our bodies too much, when we're going through this stuff. So he's saying you need to be in your body more, okay?
I picked up this thing in a picture frame with a saying in it recently, and I say, Val, you ought to just hang it on the wall because this is what I need to do. And it says, keep your eyes on the stars, but your feet on the ground.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Because you always want to be, looking
right
for what's up there and what's going to come to you, but you've got to do it from here. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank Ryan very much.
Ryan?
Any questions so far about how how I'm doing this and what you're receiving? Anything that you are receiving? Yes.
Well, I was just wondering, sometimes some of the things that you say have quite a lot of honesty in them on behalf of the person who's passed, and how does that affect your communication or relationship with them? Because have they just come to terms with all of those things, or are there times where they're like, I'm not really ready to hear this honesty that you're speaking to these people in the present?
I would say both, definitely. We're always working, even after we leave our bodies, we're always working. We're always working to raise our vibration and to get even higher. So there are plenty who are in spirit, who are still working on the stuff and still trying to shed the stuff that they had here. And then, of course, the relationships that we have with people, a great example is, what Jackie was talking about earlier. Her father, I'll never forget that, and it's in my book because it was so astounding to me. The man that came to talk to his daughter was, can I use the word? He was a bastard. He really was. He was mean. He was mean, and he was telling me stuff to tell her that was, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that, especially in front of these people. And he came in saying, I'm looking for my son. Now, what are your sisters' names?
Jody and just me and my sister.
Just you and your sister. Okay. So Jackie, he wanted boys, and so that's why he came through with that. But I'll tell you what happened though in that reading. was that he kind of morphed into the person or the energy that he is now, which is much softer. So that happens as well. So people will come in all forceful and, you know, this person, you know, I had this fight with this person right before I died and I'm not, you know, I'm not forgiving them yet, and things like that. And I have to express that. But then they will soften and they'll say, okay, now that we've acknowledged that, because what he told me was there was no way Jackie would have believed it was her dad if he came in any softer than what he did.
That was true.
Yeah, he came in really harsh, but then he kind of softened up and he said, okay, here's who I really am now. So it's a mixture, you know, of him wanting her to acknowledge him, but at the same time, he's still learning too. He's still learning what his effects were on other people. And she's probably still learning, you know, how to connect with him as well. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions so far? Okay, great. I think we've got time for another connection. Okay, definitely a very strong grandfather figure coming in. And I say that because he is, he looks like a grandfather. You know, there's a couple things that I get from him. You know, I get the physical appearance because I can see, but then also, you know, he feels like a grandfather, isn't it? And so, do you understand what I mean by that? Okay, because everybody has an energetic signature. And so he's coming in as his grandfather. Even though I can see him, he can also give me the feeling of who he is and his energetic signature. And that's how I connect to somebody else. Okay, and he's popping, you know, there's lights popping up over a lot of you people. Because I'm sure there's a lot of grandfathers here, right? So let's see who this one is. Okay, is it blue shirt? Yes, you. What is your name, Janine? It's up here, the front.
Reet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your name?
Reet.
Reet. Okay, thank you, Reet. I'm just confirming, it belongs to you. Yes. And this, he feels like he was, again, we're talking about powerful. He was a powerful person here. But then then he lost all of his power, he says. And it was like when he got older. So first of all, do you have a grandfather on the other side? Let's just start with that.
I do. I know my mom's side. I don't really know my dad's side, so.
Okay, let me ask, because sometimes even though you don't know them, there's a message for you. And I feel that there's definitely a huge message for you. Because he's going like this, step into your power, step into your power. So let me ask him if he is, which side he's on. Oh, it is mom's side. I was thinking dad's side. No, but it's mom's side. Was he a short man?
Was he my great-grandfather by chance?
Could be. Was he the short one? Who was the short
No
one?
idea.
You have no idea? No, he's saying no. This is, you knew him. You knew him, he said. So this is your mother's father. You knew your mother's
I only
father?
knew her stepfather.
Stepfather.
So is it Steve Gitska? Or is it John Harmon?
This is the first one.
Really?
Yeah. Surprised?
Yes, I am.
You know, it feels like again, he's saying he kind of wielded his power, possibly over people here, but he left powerless. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it was like stripped from him. And I'm feeling, you know, that he was actually physically, because he's showing himself small, you know, kind of, and I don't believe it's a height thing, but I think that when he was leaving, I mean, it feels like he was
He dropped a lot
like
of weight.
this. What was that?
He dropped a lot of weight when he was passing at that time.
Powerless, he kept saying, powerless, I was powerless. And he spent his whole life, it's very similar to your stepdad, you know, he spent his whole life trying to be powerful, in his own way. I mean, he does not come through as a big energy, I'll tell you that. He comes through as a smaller energy right now because of the transformation that he had to go through. His message for you, though, is that you need to step into your power, that it wasn't, you know, that it feels like he came from an upbringing where, you know, where the men were supposed to be powerful and the women were not. And that's what he kind of exhibited while he was here. And so he's saying that that's really not the way that it's supposed to be. He understands that now. And he's apologizing. He's apologizing to your mom, and he's apologizing to you. And then, did he have a daughter? There's another female. What was that? Not that you're aware of. Was it only
Both
you?
my parents were the only child.
Both of them were. Did he? Right. But did he have a? Do you have a sibling?
I do.
A
I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers. There's another female that he's talking about. Oh, was he married before? Before your mom? There's another female that he's talking about that he has to apologize to as well.
You're talking about my grandfather on my mom's side, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Having to
So
find it.
he's my mom's stepdad.
Your mom's stepdad. Gotcha. Okay. So, and your parents were single.
We're
Okay.
both only children.
There's another female. He was bringing up this other female. Oh, he's apologizing to your mom and then maybe to your grandmother. He
Okay.
says there's 2 of them. Yeah, that's it. So apologizing to your mom, to your grandmother for the way that he handled things, the way that, I feel like this male thing versus female thing, and that he did not portray it well. And again, talking about you specifically, that you are very strong, and he says you don't always know that you're very strong, and that you don't always. He says you don't always give it out from here, and he's, the solar plexus. You have more power in your solar plexus than what you give, than what you send out. Now, of course, he's not saying to blast everybody, but but he's saying you are more powerful, and to really step into that you really need to start stepping into that. I'm asking him how does that look for her? He's saying whatever way you want to do it, there's different, he's going like this, so there's different modalities that you can choose, but definitely self-empowerment. And it's more about coming into, it's more about mixing the masculine and the feminine, and getting that balance, is what he's saying. And you just keep saying that he's sorry. So I don't know if that's something you can share with your mom or not, but he just know that he's apologizing.
She's passed too.
She's passed too.
I'm surprised she wasn't the one that came through.
Well, he has the message for you. Our loved ones are always there, absolutely. It's the ones who come through, there's only a certain number that can come through. The message for you absolutely is stepping into your power, and that's why he's stepping forward. Let me see if your mom can come through. There's somebody else you need to share that with. So you said you have brothers though. But they weren't really related. I don't get that they were related to. They're related to your stepdad or your step grandfather. But were they affected at all by him? There's somebody else who's living here who he says he has to apologize to.
Both my brothers are alive.
Yeah. Would he have influenced their lives at all? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. So I'm going to just put it out there because I'm not grasping who this female is. But there's another female who he needs to apologize to, and I'm going to ask him to give you that information later. Okay. Okay. And your mom just stepped over here, and she sends you the smell. She sends you smells. And she says, I'm there because you can smell me. Does that make sense? Do you smell really strongly?
No.
No? She's saying
Not that I
that.
thought.
What was that?
Not that I thought.
She is saying that she comes on smell because any other way you're not going to receive it right now, she says. So she comes to you through smell. So it might be something, again, we were talking about awareness. We're talking about being aware. Being aware of smells around us. Who was it that smelled the cigarette smoke up here? It was somebody. Yeah, there was, and none of us smoke. So I said it's probably one of the dearly departed who left the tobacco smell up here. They bring us smells, and so she's saying pay attention to the smells because she is with you a lot, and she gives you the smell of her, and it feels like it's either. You'll know it. It's very distinct. I'm smelling it right now. It's very distinct. So So, but she wants you to know that she does come and visit a lot. But grandfather is here more for who you are and what you need to step into. And that seems to be kind of the theme that we had today, was, you know, stepping into who we need to be and who we are as individuals, and what we can do to bring that into our everyday life. So for you, it's stepping into your power. For you, it's letting go. For you, it's, you know, seeing, you know, and for you, it's connecting. So it's all these ways that we are bringing all the psychicness into our lives, and how we can experience this every day. I think I'm out of time. Yep, she's going to wrap up. So thank you very much. And before, I want you all to just be really aware. You're in a state of awareness now. So be really aware as the other speakers speak, and really bring it in, really feel it in your core, and experience it, because this is amazing stuff that we're doing. We have amazing speakers that are going to talk as well. Hello?
Have you ever had a spirit touch you?
Yes.
Oh, so they can do that then?
Yeah, you know, for that, they give me the impression. I've had energy kind of rush at me, and I do ghost hunting too, so.
That's good.
So they push me. I think, Michelle and Aletta have been with me on those occasions where they're going, okay.
Hands off.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all about boundaries. Yeah. But yeah, they have touched.
Because I get touched a lot and there's no one there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
That's a really
I'm just
good
sort of like
point.
a crazy person.
That is a really good point, and I'll leave with that. You know, with JT, the way he let me know he was with me to begin with was he would pull my hair right here. That's how he would let me know, and I knew that was only him doing that. So he would pull my hair. So absolutely, they do that as well, definitely. So thank you very much for.